you found this content valuable, please like, comment, and share it across your social media channels. I would love the opportunity to help others grow in their business. The Pirate Syndicate is a platform where you show up, we produce the show. It's that easy. If you want to be seen, be heard, and be talked about, join the Pirate Syndicate today. And here we are on the Pirate Broadcast on a crazy time in life. And today we have none other than the scroll stopper, David Brier. David, for those that don't know you, give us the summary of who David really is, the man behind the man.
Wow. Okay. Well, I mean, I'll try and keep it brief. The basic thing, native New Yorker, now working and residing in the Midwest. I kind of call myself like a fire-breathing slayer of mediocrity and predictably boring crap, because there's a lot of it. And so I give brands the life, the energy, the verve, the stamina, the pulse to be heard and seen and actually just be the badasses that they are. Other than that, I don't add much value.
It's amazing to watch you, and you have your 1 Minute Wednesdays and on your YouTube channel. And I know that there's been some disruption in the way that we process information. And for myself, video is very key to what I'm doing, how I'm approaching it, and how I'm expanding the message. And I think there's a lot of people that are unaware of the power and the velocity that you can achieve with some good video. And if anybody's not connected with David, go connect with David. Follow him on his YouTube channel, on all social medias and everything else, anywhere in between. So what are your thoughts on using video?
Well, video is a great medium because, and especially right now, this has been a very, I have personally found this whole lockdown, quarantine, stay at home, pandemic period to be actually very illuminating, because I saw some people and businesses kind of get paralyzed with fear and uncertainty, like, oh crap, what the hell do we do?
Yeah.
And then there were others who went into, new opportunities, new ways we can add value, right?
Yeah.
And that literally is the dividing line. Right now, I literally see there's only going to be two companies that come out of this on the other side of this, and through this, is that there's going to be those that are paralyzed with fear, and those that are just paralyzed with fear and uncertainty and indecision, and that they're going to crumble. They're going to crumble and they're going to erode. They may not even make it through this. Then there are going to be others that are moved into action. Like, this is the impetus, like, bam, we refuse to go down with the ship, and they're going to take it. And to me, and the reason that I frame that, and this is why I'm answering the question about video, is that I don't think any of us realized that our proximity, our ability to, like me, visit you or meet someone at a restaurant or a coffee shop or have them over as guests or whatever, that all of that was so much a part of our ecosystem of daily living. And that all of a sudden we couldn't move around. We didn't have that mobility, and everything came to like a crazy halt. Hospitality is dramatically impacted. Airlines are dramatically impacted. Restaurants are dramatically impacted. So with all of that said, I think right now, the most important thing that can happen is that don't use mobility as the reason to not connect. Now you need to over-connect. That doesn't mean inappropriately, but how can you ramp it up? And video is certainly a way. Every personalized communication is certainly a way to become more real, to basically close that gap where we now don't have the opportunity to physically oh, I want to go and visit Russ. Hey, Russ, let's go out and hang, right? Ain't going to happen. Yeah. But that doesn't mean that we can't connect. So, video is vitally important, whether you're doing what, Ethan Butte is doing with BombBomb. They've got this whole video thing with personalized, messaging and it's video, and with what you're doing and what any of us are doing. And the thing that I tell people is, look, even the rock stars we all know, whether it's Gary V or Grant Cardone or Damon John or whomever you want, do you see them hustling less? Hell no.
No.
They are not hustling less. They're not resting on the millions of followers. They're hustling as hard and fast as anybody who cares about their survival. So that's my lengthy answer to your question.
Well, and I appreciate that because, as a selfish individual who wants to promote the fact that we're using video to promote video is one of those. And I like the statement I think you coined it on your profile as the slayer of the mundane. And with video, it's so, and you do some amazing video, and I've already shared how much I appreciate your videos, and the thing that I really want to share today, and some of the things that I wanted to, kind of mention was, like you said, there are the companies and the brands that are going to pivot, double down, and say, "Damn it, we're going to make it through this whole thing."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
From a branding perspective, does it? And I know there's a lot of conversation around sales and should I be selling? It's like, yes, you should be, doing it with empathy and in a certain style. However, how does that impact the brands that are evolving and changing or could evolve or change in this environment? I mean, how does that impact the branding of a company?
Well, first of all, it's an excellent question. It's an important point. The basic thing today is those that are selling like nothing's changed are tone deaf. Period.
Yeah.
Period. I mean, you can't just go, hey, yeah, buy this. Da, 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 da. People, it's not where people's heads are at.
Right.
So things have gotten more fundamental. So you need to tap into. Pardon me, that's my espresso machine, just kind of like just chilling for a second. So, but the thing is right now I think empathy is critically important. I think you need to be sensitive to the problems. You need to navigate it, and I'll give you a perfect example. Because everybody was hit in one way or another. There's a smaller percentage of companies that are, because of the industry and the space they're in, their businesses are exploding, and I have some of my clients that's happening with. Others, whether their state's been locked down or they have businesses that are reliant on congregations like fitness studios, stuff like that, like they've been crushed.
Yeah.
Right.
A lot of devastation.
Yeah, just totally decimated. And so, and I think on top of all of it is, it's not like any one of us has a date such as, hey, June 1, everything's going back to normal. Right. There's no firm date. The government and the states are trying to do it as responsibly, but open it up, realizing if we don't open it up, there's going to be nothing to open up. And so, for example, I remember the first few weeks, and I was scratching my head going, how the hell does one navigate through this? It was not an easy thing to figure out. And I was talking to a couple of colleagues, and they were like, so I mean, I'll give you a perfect example for what I did, right? So I ended up saying, right now people in businesses, there are a little uncertainty, so they're kind of they're allocating their cash and in reserves in different ways. And obviously, that I'm at home. You hear, this is
we're all at home, David.
Completely unrehearsed. This is completely unrehearsed. And so, anyway, so the thing is that come on, that should be your last. Good. Okay. So, I ended up coming up with a service that I felt, how can I provide more value? So I looked and I said, okay, you know what? Right now, people do need to figure crap out. They don't need to not figure stuff out. Those are sort of in the mindset of waiting. I mean, I did an international podcast over the last 36 hours, and I had to talk to them. I said, guys, I mean, I saw one of the comments and they were like, well, when do you think it's going to go back to normal? I said, I said, you may regret inviting me to this party, but here's my answer to your question. Assume this is not going to change for the next 10 years. I said that to them and they were like, what? And I said, look, any aspect of waiting puts you at the position of, is the government going to make the right decision? Are borders going to make a right decision?
Yeah.
Is this regulating body? It's like you can't control that. So you need to now focus on what you can control. Stop waiting for it to go back to the way it was. Assume it won't. And you'll be in a stronger position. And so that's when I basically go, I went, okay. So I came up with this concept with some of my buddies. I came up with a 3-week mentorship. Because people always want to tap into what is it that I know? Because I've been doing this for 40 freaking years, right? 40 years.
Yeah. Which I want to get into a little bit later, but
totally. And so I have all this experience. I mean, the thing that people don't realize, I got into the industry. I started my career before there were computers in businesses. Before there was internet, before there was email, before there was social media.
Yeah.
I mean, there was like 9 years. I was in the career before any of that existed that we take for granted. And so my whole thing was—
You've seen the change. You've seen the change.
I've seen the change.
Yeah.
I've seen the change. And so what happened was I decided to put together this 3-week mentorship, and I work with people one-on-one. I work with them. We record the Zooms. I give them the Zooms. It's like, here's the stuff. And it's like, they are shocked. I usually saw, like in the first 30 minutes, I usually solve something that they'd been struggling with or contemplating about for at least 2 to 5 years, and we solve it, right?
Isn't that ironic that you can see something so blatantly obvious that somebody inside it, they don't have the perception that they need. So, and I always
proximity is the great killer of ingenuity.
Yeah, well, you're too close to it.
They're too close.
Yeah,
too close. Way too close.
That's fascinating. So I want to expand on this this whole idea of the mentorship. So I really, this fascinates me because I have been teaching and preaching and evangelizing some of these things that you are the media. You don't need permission from the FCC, from any broadcaster, no producer. You can be your own channel. You can be your own media. Words, images, audio, and video. You're the creator. Yep. So it falls in line with that. And then with the mentorship on the branding that you have and you're producing, it's an amazing opportunity for people to learn and expand their skills in this day and age.
Completely. No, it's, and I never had, had the pandemic occurred or not occurred, I would not have come up with it.
You've never been in a pandemic? Dang. We're all missing out.
I mean, I must have been living under a rock.
Can't believe it. So the mentorship program, how does it work and who's it for?
Basic thing is it's for entrepreneurs, it's for CEOs, it's for businesses. It's literally it's like this. I do 3 1.5 hour deep dives with them. Mm-hmm. And after the first session, I give them assignments of all right, this is what came up, this is what you need to do. And it's totally customized and different for each. I mean, one was like, I need you to do 20 videos. Mm-hmm. And the first 18 will suck, and just show me the last 2 if you think that they're good, right? And I want to see them, and I want to, like getting or your messaging. What the hell are you talking about? I'll listen to something. I'll say, what you just told me was 10 times clearer than what I've just seen on your website. Yeah. And so, I mean, I basically come in with the sword of truth, and we slay the crap. And there's like a lot of crap sitting on the side, and they are so relieved. They're like, I mean, literally within the first 40 minutes, they're like, oh my God, this is like I am so glad I made this decision, because they're getting a clarity. And you've seen enough of my stuff, I don't mince words. I'm not ambiguous about what I mean, and and I have the conviction. And look, and if I get something wrong because if I say, you need to do blah, 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 and they're like, well, no, because blah, 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 blah. I'm like, oh, well, those variables you didn't mention, we're going to retract everything I just said. Yeah. Here's what you now need to do. but it's been unbelievably powerful. I mean, I'm not gonna name any names, but I took one of the folks that's jumped on, had a year-long sales cycle. It took a year to close projects.
Wow.
And I asked, what's the value? Because now look, if that's a six-figure deal, okay, I get that. It was not anywhere near. And I'm going, dude, your sales cycle was wrong. So now I already knew where to look. And I already knew it's like his sales approach, which impacts the branding, which impacts messaging, which impacts brand story. It all intertwines. And so, but that's the kind of stuff that people are getting blown away because it's the sword of truth, and it goes freaking fast as crap. And people are like, the couple that have like completed it by now, they're like, oh, this is the last one. Does it have to stop? I'm like, well, we could extend it. But the thing is look, they need to invest.
Yeah.
There's a price tag that goes along with it, but it's very approachable. It's not, it's a fraction of what usually when I would get involved with projects, but it covers my time, and no one said, I wish I got more, right? Yeah. They're like, holy shit, because they're just shocked at what we cover and how fast. I mean, it's insanely fast, but it's exciting because I'm working with people in industries I've worked in a lot of different industries. And these are
fascinating for me because that's the whole point of the Pirate broadcast is being able to identify and kind of pull some knowledge out of each industry, because like you did a great segment on branding versus advertising.
Yeah.
And you've mentioned that before in the past, and go check out David's material. I just got to tell you. And in the branding process, it can be very quick if it's very clear and you have all of the information, because you've been doing this a while. For somebody that's in it though, like myself, I really, one of the challenges I have is I can message for someone else, but when it comes to my own stuff, it's like, why is it such a challenge for me to figure out what I want to say? It's like
I understand.
I stumble over my own words and I can't, connect two sentences together. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's to me, it really comes down to that proximity thing. It's like, it's too close. Look, it's like even when I wrote Brand Intervention, so what very few people know is I wrote that book 3 times. The first one, my editor, said great content, but David, this isn't your voice.
Yeah.
And the second one was like a similar kind of thing. Amazing content. This isn't like your voice. And then I'm going, why am I choking on this? Right. I said, if you told me you wanted me to write a blog on a particular topic, I could write it. That's like, I'll get back to you in 20 minutes and here it is. And you'll go, oh my God, gold.
Yeah.
And so I'm going, and so I realized it was sort of like, it's kind of like telling a sprinter, okay, we know you can run the 50 yards. Now, 5 miles. And he's like, and so
it's just a different circumstance.
It's just a different circumstance. But the thing is, he has all the motor skills.
Yeah.
He has the legs, he has the strength, he has the muscle, he has the motor skills, just one step at a time. And so I had to what I literally had to do, I had to literally go, okay, you know what, where do I do this well and adeptly? I do it when I write a blog. I said, so I'm going to approach my book like a blog. So I said, what are the points I want to cover? And I just literally just poured out of me. I'm like, good. And so, and if you've seen the book, and if you've seen it, you know the format and the whole thing. It's like crazy. So I did that intentionally. So there's no fat. There's no extraneous words.
Yeah.
But that's kind of like right now. That's to me. But all of this has to do with finding your superpower. It's like navigating through this pandemic is finding your superpower. What's the thing that you can do that they can't? Like I was talking to travel, just to give you an idea of like how like the impossible can be done. I was talking to travel and events industry like overseas yesterday. And they were like, oh my God, we're like, our business has died. It's over. The world's come to an end. And I said, you know what? I said, I disagree with you 100%. So let's look at this. You've considered travel to be a good source of income and part of the package. So, you make your cut on the travel leg, you make your cut on the lodging, and you make your cut on the event. And that's how you as a travel professional and a travel and event professional have existed. I said, but you know what? But now you have an opportunity. You could, for example, there are people who have never participated in your events because they don't like to travel.
Yeah.
Maybe they're a single parent and they can't travel. Maybe they have a disability and travel isn't easy. Maybe they don't like the climate that it's in. Maybe it's too hot or too cold or too this or too that. And that's a barrier. So right now you literally, and maybe some just don't like to go through security.
Yeah.
Okay. So with all of that crap, you just eliminated that from the equation. And what if you were to have you collaborate with the top concierge of this particular city, and they give someone a tour, and you get the best customer rep in this exclusive store, and they give a video tour, and you literally make experiences available, and now you close the gap, and now you're allowing them to travel in a different way. So literally, I created a brand new business just based
new industry, video travel.
Totally. And if you do it with great people, like good personalities, like a really charismatic tourist guide, a tour guide, and then you have an amazing, like you get to this store that nobody gets to, only the celebrities get to, but now
those
you
secret
can get
spots only the locals know about.
Exactly. Only the locals know. You can learn how to, and you could even do it where and here there's this cafe and that cafe and that cafe, and as part of the whole package, you get shipped, and in 5 days you receive a whole gift pack of all the food and wine and oils and shit that you couldn't get. New business.
Whole new business.
Yeah.
And that's the way, and just to come back full circle and frame it, is the people that are thinking in that direction are the ones that are going to take advantage of the opportunities in any situation. See the challenges as opportunities instead of roadblocks. It's a mind. It's kind of a shift in, it's 2 degrees of, perspective, right? And it's that proximity thing back full circle. And it's really fascinating to me that how many people, first thing they do is jump on the couch with the clicker and say the sky is falling, watch the news and consume all of the things that are negative. And it's like, no, this is a huge opportunity to, connect with David and get on a mentorship program and then learn some skills and then find out what you really are passionate about. If you're not passionate about what you're doing right now, find another avenue that you can actually get really good at and offer those skills to somebody in the industry, because it's not going away. We're not stopping. The world isn't stopped turning or anything like that. It's still going to continue to go around, and we are responsible for it. Don't be a victim, be a victor. And that's
completely. And what's funny, I was speaking to a buddy. I mean, this is where I really pay attention to shit. Speaking to a buddy in Sydney, Australia, and he goes, "How you guys doing up there?" He goes, "I'm really concerned about you guys." And I say, "Tell me what you're hearing." Right? I didn't even first answer his question. I was just curious. What are you hearing that's making you concerned?
Yeah.
And he goes, well, we heard that there's 30 million that are out of work, and we've states are like, this and that and blah, 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 blah. I said, you're getting a spin.
Yeah.
I said, the 30 million out of work. Yep. That's true.
Yeah.
But that's, first of all, that's 1/10 or whatever, 1/8 of the 1/10 or less of the population. Yeah. Okay. That means 90% are working. Okay. What are we focusing on? So that's, and I get it. That sucks. And for anybody that's out of work, it's like, get resourceful now. And it's like, and you may even need to relocate to freaking where Amazon's at, because they're hiring. Yeah. I mean, but you need to be proactive. But I'm listening to the pitch, and he's hearing stuff, and he's hearing negative stuff about the government and this, and I said, you're getting a pitch.
Yeah.
I said, right now, the government wants us opened. There are, you got medical guys who are having this idea. You got entrepreneurs, this idea, and you're going, and yes, we have to do it responsibly. And there are going to be some that are going to screw it up. There going to be some that are going to do it right.
Yeah.
Okay, but don't be concerned. I said, trust me. America is an independent, rebellious, and we fight back country.
Yeah.
We're not going to go under. No freaking way.
Yeah. And it's people like yourself that are going to assist in that expansion rather than the contraction of industry and the communication, everything about it. So I want to make sure that we touch base on your origin. How the heck did you just wake up one day and you're in school saying, yeah, I'd like to be in advertising. I'd like to be in marketing. I'd like to be a branding.
Oh, my career origin?
Yeah. So how did you come about? How did you evolve into this, this whole industry and because everybody has, that epiphany on when they started or how they got into it.
Sure. Okay. So the thing is, so all right, for those who don't know, just like, I'll frame this up. Born in Brooklyn, raised in Queens, and then a little bit of Long Island. I hated that. And then I moved to Manhattan and started my career. Okay. Now, so the thing is, growing up in Brooklyn and Queens, it's like, we would routinely go to Greenwich Village, like on Sundays and walk around and look at the art and look at the stores and, like Washington Square Park and all this kind of stuff. I always loved art. I always loved art, creativity, going to galleries, museums. I mean, I loved that. It was just like fascinating to me.
Yeah.
And so I was always an artist. In my teens, I was painting. We're not in my office, otherwise I'd show you. But I would paint literally. I was inspired by Rembrandt, Da Vinci, and Michelangelo. Okay. I loved their work, and so I would do these large paintings of my rock stars. But so those that I grew up with, that's how I got into it, and that's what I was into. And so I was planning on being an illustrator until my last semester of college, and I saw a magazine that I'd never seen before. It was a trade magazine. It's no longer in existence, but I have copies. I have quite an excellent collection at the office. It showed me a craft. I mean, you've probably experienced this too. When you are in the presence of brilliance and you see something done with something wet, and it could be food, it could be music, it could be architecture or whatever, but all of a sudden you're like, holy crap. You see a synergy of arts and craft and skill and disciplines put together like nobody put it together before. And that was what happened. I looked at this magazine and I was stunned because I'd never, ever seen a publication that put so much attention to detail. I literally practically gawked at every page going, I've never seen anything like that. I'd look, and then I'd open up, and the contents page was not done like any previous contents page I'd ever seen. And then the other page, and this was, and you have to understand, this was a black and white on newsprint publication, right? So it wasn't high glitzy glossy.
Yeah.
But it was just, whoa. It's like when you're in the presence of like an amazing chef.
Yeah.
Who takes the same ingredients as Joe Schmuck over there, who's just like does shit. But over here, this guy brings you this thing, and it's
a piece of art.
It's freaking art. It like speaks to you, and you look at it, and not only is that, but then you taste it, and you taste buds, like you discover parts of your palate. You're like, holy crap! I didn't know that.
I never knew it could taste that good.
Exactly. Yeah. And so it's the same thing. So it's that synergy, I mean, which really is the essence of innovation. I think that's why Steve Jobs left such an indelible mark on because he brought together so many forms of craft and discipline that hadn't been put together before. It was just engineering stuff in a black little box or whatever. And it was just junk, and it was ugly or beige. And so that's when it happened. I literally, in that last semester of college, I was like, holy crap, because I had a choice right then and there. Do I do illustrations and hand them off to an art director who then might do something great or shit? Which is it going to be? Or do I want to actually take a higher amount of ownership and control the outcome of this thing for the company or the project that I'm working on? Because you have to understand, I was working on brands, everything from Estee Lauder to Revlon. I literally did a cover of the Rolling Stone, New York Times Magazine. So, I mean, I was working on all of these things that were involved in some aspect of story and visibility and stuff like this. And I was like, and I knew that I wanted to take more ownership to make sure that the outcome, I didn't want it to get diluted somewhere, just halfway down the assembly line.
Yeah.
And
the art of communication sparked your interest. So.
Complete.
David, I just really thank you so much. All the gratitude in the world for you being here. I know that we could talk for hours, literally.
I suspect that's true.
I actually got into advertising in '85, and so it's I'm somewhat near your ability to understand the transition we've been through. And so
you got in just a couple 3 years before it all changed.
Yeah. I went through the outdoor industry where I actually was involved in the transition from hand painted billboards to printed billboards.
Digital output.
Digital output, yeah. So with that being said, thank you, all the gratitude in the world. I want to have you back in a future episode as this thing evolves out. If you'd be kind enough to join us again. And now that you're a pirate, you're part of the pirate community, and welcome. And I love that everybody go connect with David, follow up, enjoy his content as much as I do, and support each other. And, because at the end of the day, the only thing we have to look forward to is kindness is cool. Smiles are free. So David, you enjoy the day. All right.
Absolutely, my man. I totally appreciate it. Great conversation, great questions, and keep shining, man. Keep shining.
Take care. Thank you for joining the Pirate Broadcast. If you found this content valuable, please like, comment, and share it across your social media channels. I would love the opportunity to help others grow in their business. The Pirate Syndicate is a platform where you show up, we produce the show. It's that easy. If you want to be seen, be heard, and be talked about, join the Pirate Syndicate today.